Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Low Budget Review Show. I am your host, Eric Smith, and today I am talking about The Night Stalkers by Kristopher Triana and Ryan Harding, and this is from The Evil Cookie Publishing. Love their little logo there. So, The Night Stalkers is about, Freshway. It's a grocery store, and a bunch of the employees are being forced to work an overnight shift after the store is closed. The manager wants it looking like it's a brand new store, spick and span, super fresh. Well, across the way, a new grocery store, Devil's Way, has opened up, and they are literally Satanists. And they decide to honor Satan and move up in the rankings of Devil's Way. The Devil's Way chain. They are going to sacrifice all the employees at Freshway. And it becomes a crazy, crazy book for us to read. All right, well, right off the bat, Kristopher Triana has a foreword here. And he says this is not extreme. It's not an extreme horror novel. He says it falls into the splatterpunk category. I'm not sure what the distinction is. If he hadn't said that, I wouldn't hesitate to say this is an extreme horror novel. So we start with a cold open. I do believe. Let's not look at that introduction. Yes. We start with a cold open, as I like to call it, where we meet some of the employees of Freshway Devil's Food. So calling it Devil's Way? I don't know. It's Devil's Food. Just in case I misspoke. There it is. It's Devil's Food. So we meet some employees of Devil's Food and how they deal with an irate customer. Then we go over to Freshway and we meet our main characters, our employees there, the shitheel manager who's going to force these people to work an overnight shift. Basically, it's you work the shift or you're fired. And we've got a wide variety of characters. There's an older woman who gives out the samples. There's a Puerto Rican gentleman, middle-aged, who is the butcher for the store. We've got the young, hot, flirty, sexually bold cashier, and there's a pregnant woman, and there's the shitty janitor guy, and then there's Kyle and Mila, who were a couple, but they've broken up. So things are awkward between them. So we get to know all these people and their situations. There's actually very good character building in this book, which could have just been a splatter fest, a simple, slasher movie type of thing. Although it's more of a siege movie. Kristopher Triana in his foreword likens it to Assault on Precinct 13, but much, much more disturbing. Excuse me. So, great character development. We really get to know these people, and we really get to know the people from Devil's Food. And of course, so we get to the overnight shift, and the siege begins. All hell breaks loose. Not actually literally, as you might expect from the Devil's Food people, but it's wild, it's crazy, it's full of graphic sex and violence, which again, I don't know the difference between splatterpunk and extreme. My mind goes to extreme because it is very graphic. There are a few cannon fodder characters thrown in, but for the main part, we have our Freshway main group, our Devil's Food main group, the characters we've come to know and love, and how they deal with the situation. The Devil's Food people think it's just going to be simple. You know, they've got the element of surprise on their side. They're just going to go in and slaughter these people, but it doesn't work that way. And it becomes a siege. And so we go back and forth between perspectives. We follow the Freshway people for a little bit, then we follow the Devil's Food people for a little bit. And it's really entertaining. I mean, this is just... Again, I'm gonna use the word fun, which always seems to be a weird word to use for something this extreme and over the top, potentially offensive to some people. But it's fun. It's like choosing to read, or excuse me, to watch again an 80s slasher movie versus The Exorcist or The Omen or Silence of the Lambs, which some people consider to be a horror movie. You could go with that highbrow stuff, or you go with Slumber Party Massacre, something like that. And this is the Slumber Party Massacre end of the spectrum. After the last book I read, which was packed an emotional punch. I needed something again more fun, and this definitely delivered. Excuse me. It takes place in 1992, I believe. It is an homage to death metal. Yeah, it's set in some town in America, 1992. Definitely homage to death metal, and there are some Easter eggs, lots of interesting Easter eggs. But again, this is the kind of thing, if you pick them out, great, you're going to get a little tickle from it. If you don't, then it's not like it stands out and you're like, what the hell is that? I don't understand it because I don't get the reference. No, it's all good. I've read Kristopher Triana and Ryan Harding before. I enjoy both of them. And man, I'm assuming they had a ball writing this. I think maybe Kristopher Triana, in his forward introduction, whatever you want to call it, talks about a little bit about just trying to make each other laugh with their just over the top craziness. And there are some inventive kills. It's as I said, it's very, very graphic, but a lot of fun. I gave it 4 out of 5 on Goodreads. I'd love to see these two team up again and do something along the same lines, just balls to the wall, crazy, splatterpunk, funny read. Excuse me. And they are both Splatterpunk Award winners. See? Splatterpunk Award winning authors. So yeah, there you go. That's The Night Stalkers. Just highly recommended for fans of slasher films and extreme horror. Sorry, splatterpunk horror. Yeah, pick it up. It's good stuff. I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say about it. So, if you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put them in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post a spoiler warning. We try to be polite here at the Low Budget Review Show. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to follow me on other social media, my Twitter is @Ronin5757, and my Instagram, where I post pictures of stuff, books, comics, games, and fuzzy animals, is Eric Smith 5757. That's Eric with a K, ERIKSMITH 5757. And that's enough of my rambling. So this has been the Low Budget Review Show. I have been Eric Smith, and until next time, read more books.